Okay, so good evening, friends that are watching. I just wanted to touch base and reach out and say I did take some time away from social media, and then recently I have posted a few things here and there. And there's been stuff going on in my life, and I'm sure, like all of you, we're in these uncertain times of what's real, what's not real, what information is true, what information is not true, how many issues with the state that you're in. And when I say the state, I mean the one you live in, the state that you're in, whether it's Florida or Michigan or any of the other 50 states, or even if you're living abroad and you happen to know me and you're going to see this. There's just so much going on that we don't really know because we don't know if it's true information or misinformation or what. But the bottom line is there is clearly a global pandemic. There's no denying that. So here in Michigan, I just kind of wanted to talk real quick about what I've noticed with our executive orders that have been handed down from our governor. So in our state, if you go into any business that's open and allowed to be open and hasn't unfortunately succumbed to financial distress and closed, if you're going into a business, no matter what it is, we're required to wear a mask. I don't really understand the negative backlash that other human beings are throwing out into the ether because they feel like maybe it's a violation of their rights, or I'm not really sure. It's uncomfortable to wear a mask, blah, 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 blah. I get it. It's not necessarily my most favorite thing to do, to put something on my face and have to wear that the entire time that I'm working a shift where I work. But is it horrible? No. Are there many options out there now that were not available 4 months ago? Absolutely, because companies now have started to mass produce masks that you don't have to be someone who has a sewing machine at home. You don't have to do it yourself anymore. 4 or 5 months ago, it was a very difficult thing because at that point, either you had to know how to sew it or you had to find someone in your area who was sewing one and then selling them out of their home, or you had to be fortunate enough to find the disposable masks that were on such high demand that they just weren't around. Now that things are kind of sort of at least slowing and plateauing depending on where you're at, you can go into a Kroger, you can go into a Walmart, you can go into a Meijer, you can go into a Target, you can go into pretty much any store, especially the big box stores that are still open, and you can buy a mask for $4. So that's no longer really an issue. And I've bought several different types of masks from many different retailers because I just want to see, is one gonna be more comfortable and better fitting to my face? Because every body and everybody are different. Your ears and your nose and your facial structure, it's all different. So if they're $4 and it looks like it might be more comfortable, I'm gonna buy it. That's gonna lead me into the fact that this is what I've noticed a lot of people doing, especially in our state where you're required to wear a mask to enter any public space that's open and it's an enclosed space. I'm not talking about going to the beach or taking a walk in the park. I'm talking about when you go into a restaurant or when you go into a store, you're required to wear a mask. And this is what it should look like. This one's a little big, but I'm only using it for the purposes of showing what's really annoying to me personally. And that's in our state, this is what I've noticed people doing. This is how they're wearing their mask. And I feel like it's people who are just so self-absorbed that don't give a shit about anybody else on the planet. If you wear your mask like this, you clearly are telling anyone around you that can see you wearing it like this that you are a piece of shit and you don't really give a fuck about anybody else on the planet. And here's my thing. This is really not that different than this, as far as comfort is concerned. But you best believe, if you wear your mask like this, and I'm somewhat near you, because maybe we're going down an aisle, and I can't be 6 feet away from you, and you sneeze, and you don't make any effort whatsoever to cover up that sneeze, you best believe I'm going to motherfucking jail because your ass is getting hurt. I will fucking hurt you. And I don't have a problem going to jail. I've been twice in my past. And I'm sure if I go again, especially with the state of the world that we're in, I will have a boyfriend in like 2 minutes. I'll be like, can I hold your pocket? Bring it, big boy, because I read energy really well, and I can tell you're the top dog, and I guarantee any bitches you've had in this jail or prison before me, don't hold a candle, because I can bring it. I got thick thighs. It's all good. All I'm saying is, I don't get why people think this is appropriate and they're so bothered by just 2 more inches. That's my first rant. Second is I have family members, I have friends who are not in the best health. So not complying with what your state has mandated could potentially put them at risk for what they're going through. And again, I don't want to get a call telling me that a family member that I love or a friend that I love is dead because of this stupid thing that all started with a bat in China at the whatever market. That's number one. Number two is where we're going with I do have a heart, even though a lot of you out there think I am the biggest bitch on the planet, and that's cool. And there's a good chance at some point in time I was probably a big bitch to you. I had my reasons. But at the end of the day, I am someone who does care about the planet. I had an entire wall over there during the 90 days that we were in quarantine here in Michigan and we couldn't really do too much. And I don't have recycling where I'm at. Like, I'm in a studio apartment that does not have recycling. So I normally get my plastics, get my bottles, get my aluminum, get my whatever together, and then I take it to Targets. Targets are really great stores, at least here in Michigan, where they have these bins up front from some company that's not a Target company, but you can drop all that stuff in. Well, for 3 months, I couldn't do that. So I had an entire wall right over here of straws and everything that hurts the environment because I give a shit whether you believe it or not. And I don't like seeing those videos on YouTube with straws stuck in a sea turtle's nose so far that they have to like get a special vet to come out if they're fortunate enough to find that sea turtle on the beach and remove it after catching them. Or like if you buy 6 packs of cans and they have those plastic rings and how those get caught around animals. No, I do not enjoy that whatsoever. So I had a wall built over here for 90 days and I took it all and I got it all. I had to go to several different locations once they started letting people take and return items like plastic and glass. So regardless of what you think, I care. I do care. But I'm also a Taurus, and if you say or do something that I don't think is appropriate, yeah, I'm going to call you out on your bullshit. And if that makes me a bitch for being real and not letting someone who thinks that they're the alpha, and if they're wrong in my opinion, I'm going to say something. And I've said it a lot. And I know that's why I have a lot of enemies, frenemies, whatever. That's on all of you, though, because at least I know at the end of the day, I have my conscience to think about, and I do not let people get away with bullshit. I just don't. And if I'm wrong in a situation, maybe I had some misinformation, I am the first person who will apologize if I'm wrong. But 99.9% of the time, I'm not wrong. Those of you that actually saw some posts the other day where I was talking about what friends of mine are going through and family members of mine are going through and how much of an emotional struggle it is to realize that the world is not a great place and they're not in a good spot. And then inadvertently, that makes me not in a good spot. So those of you that actually took the time to send a love emoji or thumbs up or a sad face or a comment or a message, I appreciate you more than you know. So thank you for that. And as I get older, I'm sure I've said this before in another video, all I strive to do, and I think everyone should have this same logic, and that is I just try to be better today than I was yesterday. I fail a lot. I really do. But at least I wake up every day, and that's the first thing I tell myself is be better today than you were yesterday. So all of you, I hope things are going well. I hope you're not struggling with a lot of the same stuff that I'm struggling with, but I'm sure you are. And just know, I get it. I understand. I'm here with you. I love you. And be better today than you were yesterday. And hopefully this will all come to an end as quickly as it can. And do me and everyone else, especially those that are immunocompromised or elderly or children that haven't built up any immunities yet, whether you think this is the way to do it, I don't agree necessarily. Just wear your mask. Wear it properly, please. Peace, love, and talk soon.